I'm Brianna Bowling, and I'm the founder of Retreat and Learn. And I have with me Dr. Gwen Schiada, who is the creator of the 7L framework. So welcome, Gwen.
Oh my gosh, thank you, Brianna. It's so great to be here.
Very, very glad you are as well. So just as a refresher for people, Retreat and Learn hosts retreats at our waterfront farm where you get to both, you learn a little and you also have a chance to relax and decompress. And right now we can't have our live retreats. I'm pretty sad about that, but we still want to bring you information that can be helpful to you. And at our retreats, Gwen has been sharing her 7L framework, and it's been a very helpful tool for those that are facing changes and transition and people who are looking for that right path going forward. So right now, when all of us are facing a lot of change, it's pretty much a great tool for all of us. And so we definitely want to be sharing that with you. So I really want to thank you for joining us today. And so can you tell us, Gwen, just a little bit about what is the 7L framework?
Absolutely, Brian. Again, thank you so much for having me. The 7L framework is really a tool. If you think about it as a tool to live a more emboldened life versus what I call a beholden life, right? There are so many things that can hold us back, whether it's messages that we play in our own heads, messages that our family, our friends, society give us, or just other fears that keep us stuck. And so the 7L framework is a way to get in alignment. You think about when your back is out of alignment, right? You're in pain, you're off balance, you can't move forward. The 7L framework is a way to get your life, your spirit, your whole self in balance, in alignment with your values, your passions, and your purpose. And it's important to note that when we say life on your terms, there is not one definition of success. It's all about the individual definition of success and coming in alignment with your own values, passions, and purpose.
I love your 7L framework. And I know that I think it came a lot because of you coming with alignment with your own life. So can you talk a little bit about how the 7L framework came to be and what inspired you to actually create it?
Absolutely. And maybe I'll just mention what the 7Ls are. And I know we don't have time,
that would be helpful
to go into all of them today, but just so people know what makes up the 7Ls. There's listen is the first, love, layers, leap, land, learn, and level up. And the way that it came into being, let me just first start with saying there was a point in my own life where I was out of alignment. I'm sure we all can relate to different points in our life where we feel more in alignment. We know what that feels like, and times when we're not. And when I was a young person, and you mentioned I have a doctorate in clinical psychology, but I also have a GED. I struggled at a certain time in my life, and it took a while to get back on track. And when I did, I couldn't stop going with my education. And what I really wanted to do was give back. And so I launched my first company called Career Puppy, which was all about just that, about helping people with their careers and achieving in spite of success. And then about 3 years ago, that was 2008 when I launched Career Puppy. And then about 3 years ago, I got sort of a new itch, a new bubbling up, where I thought, it's really our lives are so much more than just our career. It's about your whole life. And how do you want to live? Maybe where do you want to live? What does that actually look like? And so I started doing research about life satisfaction and happiness. I started a podcast called Life on Your Terms and interviewed experts and people who seem to really be doing that, to living in alignment with their values, their passions, and their purpose. And it was amazing, Brianna. I mean, I literally was looking at the data, right? So I looked at the research and the qualitative data from the interviews and analyzed all of that. And what really revealed itself was, oh my gosh, there is a framework. There is a roadmap. You don't have to struggle with coming into alignment. And so as I distilled all of that down, literally the 7Ls emerged. And what I saw was there is a tool. We can help people to define and achieve life on their terms, whatever that is for a particular individual.
Great. I mean, one of the things that it's been very helpful when you are talking to people at our retreats that they're going through usually some type of transition in their life. There's some change that has been handed to them that maybe they asked for, that maybe they're retiring per se, but, or maybe it's some change that they didn't ask for, that somebody maybe has died in their life and that their role in life has drastically changed. And I've seen your 7L framework really help those people through that transition. And so I think all of us have been handed a change right now that we didn't ask for. I mean, we did not ask for the COVID-19 virus to come to us and change our lives, but yet we're having to make that change. So is there anything in the 7L framework, anything that's actionable or helpful that you think you could help the people listening today from the 7L framework that might be able to help them right now?
I would say that's such a great point, Brianna. I mean, sometimes there's a bubbling up, right, that sort of comes from within us, like I shared, right? I had a bubbling up maybe to start a business, to do something. Sometimes there's things that just happen in our lives, right? And so we can choose. I mean, we can be pinball. I call it the pinball, in the pinball machine. Do we just want to react, or do we want to be proactive? And I think right now, we can't control everything, but what we can is we can hit the pause button. We can slow down. If we look at that first L, which is listen, that's what I would encourage people to really focus on, is that first L of listening. And, often I say we have to slow down to speed up. And sometimes it's counterintuitive, right? We think, oh my gosh, I just have to go faster. Maybe something happened with your job. Maybe there's things you're worried about. And so the first sort of reaction we often have is to speed up and try to do more and just go. I would encourage people to take a pause, to hit that button and say, wait, let me just take a moment, right? We're going to catch up that time. I mean, it's
Right.
there's some physics behind it, right? The slowing down to speed up. And so give yourself permission to hit the pause button, take inventory, listen and see what's calling. And the way to do that is first just ask yourself, and these are some of the things in the workbook that we have here, is first ask yourself, what is my inner compass? So I call that what I connect to internally, my inner compass. Some people refer to it as their inner voice, their soul, their gut. So I would say, where are you? First, take inventory. Say, where am I? On a scale of 0 to 5, how connected to myself do I feel right now? Am I a 0? Am I a 3? So one, just sort of taking that self-assessment at first, and then thinking about, all right, if I'm a 0 or a 1, if I just sort of feel like I'm all over the place, I don't hear anything bubbling up or speaking to me, what are some things that I can do? And it's really a practice. So maybe if it's just even taking 5 minutes in the morning to meditate, if it's taking a walk during the day, if it's journaling, if it's creating a vision board right now, it's sometimes to get to that inner self. It's actually through a physical medium, whether that's yoga or meditation, et cetera. And so often we're so ready just to move past the here and now. There's research about, to be able to move forward, the first step that we need to take often is acknowledging the present. So there's a lot going on. If we can just hit the pause, acknowledge that this is overwhelming, acknowledge that it's scary, and just be with that for a minute, and then listen. And so if we had a lot more time, we could go deeper into that, but I would say focus on the listen and hear what's bubbling up. Maybe there's been something that you've been pushing down. Maybe you want to start something new or make a pivot, as I say. People are doing that right now, right? Some people feel like I have nothing else to lose. Sometimes it takes that something big to happen for us to get the courage to move forward. But this is a great time to put into place that first L of listen.
So Gwen, you bring up a really good point. I mean, this does take time. All of these things, I mean, at the retreat, we have a little bit more time to kind of delve into this. We have all day. We spend the great day kind of going back and forth between, a little bit of meditation, a little bit of talking about the 7L framework. And we don't, obviously, this is supposed to be a short little segment so people can kind of tune in during lunch. But I did promise that we were going to have an announcement today, and I'm going to do that. I don't know, probably just should have told you before that we were going to do this, but Gwen and I have been talking about, and I'm going to kind of make this so we can both talk here, but so Gwen and I have been talking about how people really still want to continue to discuss the 7L framework and have access to it. And so we are going to be launching, probably, we don't have the dates yet. There's almost no details, but we still want to let people know it's going to happen, mostly because we're so excited that we're going to be launching a workshop. It's going to be an online workshop with the 7L framework. Dr. Gwen Schiada is going to lead it, and it's going to be a chance for just probably 7 people. It's going to be a very small workshop that there's going to be interaction both with Gwen and also with all the other participants, just like it would be at a retreat, but working our way through those 7 Ls. And we're going to launch it probably at the end of April. It's going to go for 8 sessions. And besides that, we're still working on all the details, but it will be probably out on our website by the end of the week or maybe the weekend. We'll see when we actually get all the details in place. But we did want to let people know about that. Anything you want to add about that, Gwen, or anything really?
I'm just really excited, Brian, and I'm excited to partner with you through Retreat and Learn to make this happen. I love working with you. Like, you're just amazing at that aspect. I wish people could come, and I know they will see your beautiful, South Hatton in the future. But I think this is a great opportunity to pivot and do things a little bit differently right now. So I'm super excited to get started.
Great. I'm into. I'm so. I didn't really. Actually, one of our prior participants reached out to me about wanting to do it, and so, it's a group collaborative effort, this world. And so I appreciate her. I appreciate you. And I really appreciate the time you spent with us today. So we shall talk soon. And
thank you. So I would just say if people want to reach out and chat a little bit more about this, they can find me on Facebook through Messenger or go to my website, loytintercompass.com, or email gwenschiada@gmail.com. And hope to hear from some folks out there. And I hope everybody stays safe, stay healthy, and we will get through this. And Brianna, just thank you so much for having me today.
No, thank you. All right. We will talk to everybody soon. So thanks very much, Gwen. And thank everybody who joined in with us today as well. So if you have any questions, you can feel free to post them in the comments below, and we will answer them later as well. So talk to you soon. Thanks.
All right. Take care.